enjoy how the day has gone. And now I'm really excited to be in conversation with all of you superstars. So my first question, which I just have really copped from what I've responded positively to through the day. So thank you, Eric Gilliland, for this. I really would love for you to introduce yourself and then tell me, and the audience, it's not just us, what your reaction was to finding out that you were cast in the Mee-Ow show. Let's start with you, Jean Villepique.
I don't remember.
Wonderful! So much trauma.
Is
She's
this on?
blocked it out.
This is working?
Yeah.
I will say that Lily Francis cast me in the show. I had only seen it, I'll keep it short, but New Student Week, it was 1991, and Rachel Hamilton was in the cast, and I was like, she is here, I think, still. And I didn't know what improv was, so I was like, whatever that thing is, I want to try that. And then Lily cast me. I hadn't seen the show, and I think I was depressed some in college. I can't remember everything, but I remember the show.
You were a freshman.
I was also
when you
a
were
freshman,
cast.
but I was very happy.
Great.
Being cast as a freshman was fantastic.
Yes.
So, bravo. I'm Romy.
Romy.
And I was cast by, I was in 84, 85, and I was cast by Eric Gilliland. He, I'm gonna say it one more time. I was cast by Eric Gilliland. And I was blissfully happy, but he also let me know that I was the last person cast.
Weird.
Cleanup. You were batting cleanup.
So I've carried that with me.
Hey, I'm Jessica Lowe. I got in sophomore year, 05, what? And I was living in CRC.
It's too much for CRC.
I remember. Allison was my first choice. And I just remember I like lost my mind because seeing these talented people perform my freshman year, I couldn't believe that these rock stars were in my shitty dorm room, and then they just take you away and you're like part of this cult, and it just like...
Okay, so this is different than my experience. I went up to, I think, a piece of paper and saw my name posted. Yeah. I didn't have people show up at the Virgin Vault and then take me away and put a cloak over my head and bury me under 6 feet of styrofoam. What happened? They hazed you?
Yeah, they basically hazed you, but in a sweet way. Okay. It was like a sweet hazing. And then they had like snacks and booze, and you're like, I'm part of the fucking coolest club in the world.
Snacks and booze is cool. Great.
Hi, my name's Kristen Schaal.
I think she's gonna change some batteries.
I transferred when we use no mics when we perform.
Fundamental.
Hey, take a microphone.
Be a shitty person. Okay, I transferred my sophomore year. I didn't know what Mee-Ow was yet. I started another sketch team called Spank in the Jones with my friends that I made in Jones. You remember Spank?
I remember Spank.
And then I saw Mee-Ow and I was like, oh, I want to do that. And so I auditioned for Liz Kukowski and Jamie Roberts for co-directing. I'm wearing the sweatshirt from that
Show
year.
the back.
99.
Turn around, show them the back.
Thank you. And I think Liz called me and said I was in, and I remember just thinking that was exactly right. They were smart.
Hey, I'm Anna Gasteyer. Hi. I walked to Norris and looked at a piece of paper.
Yeah, girl.
And it was cold.
Oh, yeah.
Because, it's Chicago. And we didn't have phones. I don't even think we had phones in our dorms back then.
We used cans and string.
We did Morse code.
Yeah.
We did, yeah. And yeah, I don't remember. I mean, this is probably not an anecdote I should share, but I auditioned my sophomore year because I really wanted. First time I saw it, same thing. Rockstars, was so excited, and then I was so nervous. I took a shot of bourbon on the way, and I tanked the audition. And I'm always really grateful because I would be a raging alcoholic if it had worked.
It worked for me.
Yeah, it did. Good for you. No, because ever since then I can't perform. People are like, what if I'm doing a show? You know, people are like, oh, have a drink. I'm like, absolutely not. I will shit the bed. So yeah, that's my story.
I have a story. I'm Josh Meyers. My freshman year, I auditioned for a play called Abingdon Square. I didn't get it, but then the director of that play saw my brother and was like, "I saw your audition for Abingdon Square. You should come out for my play," because my brother and I look alike. And my brother's like, "Oh, you saw my brother," and she's like, "Well, there's parts for twins in my play. You should both audition." And Seth was not a theater kind of guy, but he was like, let's do this. It'll be fun. I'll be in a play with my little brother. We got cast. It was not for twins. It was for a chorus that looked something alike, and we by far looked more alike than anyone else. Yeah. And so we got cast, and then Seth was like, I'm not doing this. And if you did that, if you went to a callback and didn't get cast, then you were blackballed for a year. You couldn't do a play. And my brother's like, I don't fucking care. Like, I don't do theater. And then I had to do this terrible play. But then I was being very theater-y, and my sophomore year, my brother and I, we shared a job tutoring a couple kids in Northridge, and I don't know what the term today is, but they were like stupid kids. They were stupid kids. They were stupid high school kids. And their stupid, wealthy parents wanted to hire 2 smart Northwestern kids to come be their tutors. And there was a week that my brother was like, can you do the whole week? And I said, sure, because I'll make all the money this week. And then he got cast, and I didn't know what Mee-Ow was. And I was like, what? You auditioned for a show and you got in this show? And I was furious that he knew about something that I didn't know about that was more theater than he was. And then I saw that show, and I was just so fascinated with it. And so then he graduated the next year, and I auditioned, and it was such joy, such elation.
Who cast you?
You did.
Hi, I'm JP Manoux. Hi. And I remember. I'll give you all the Manoux. I have a baby. So I was aware of Second City from SCTV, and I guess a little bit of improv, but I didn't come to Northwestern to do the show, because of the show, until I had a high school drama teacher who recognized that what I was already doing in assembly announcements and stuff was basically improv, and he's like, I think you should be in Chicago, and I love Northwestern, and there's this thing that he told me about Mee-Ow. So but I didn't come see Anna and the 1988 show Me Outside Tongue with any sort of agenda or purpose, but I did see the first of their 8 shows, Friday, 8 p.m., and I loved it so much. And I was like, some other people have talked about this. This is my community. These are the people I want to be with. But the rest of the run was sold out, or at least the 11 o'clock show was. And I've already thanked Jessica Hughes and Jerry Saslow and people from that cast for letting me sit in that light booth for the 11 o'clock show, the Saturday 8 and 11. I'm going to cry. The following weekend, 8 and 11, 8 and 11. I saw all 8 shows of 8 performances of that show, and it blew my mind, and that just completely changed my life. So when I found out and I didn't get cast in it as a freshman, because I think when I did audition, but I didn't really have focus until I'd seen the show. When I got cast in it as a sophomore, it was like a huge exhale, because it was like I felt safe, I felt optimistic, hopeful, a word that came before. It was the best feeling and remains to this day.
Love that. Wow.
Hi, I'm Dermot Mulroney. And let's face it, a lot of stuff has gone my way in my life. A whole bunch of stuff. Like really, really, really gone my way. Like chart-topping life. I say with such humility and appreciation. Which traces back to a few things. The main one of which was that, like many other things in my life, I knew I was in the Mee-Ow show. I was a shoo-in. It was that year, 84, where the much-mentioned Eric Gilliland was put in charge. But I was a frat bro of Eric's. He just knew that I was already funny. I didn't have a plan to be in the Mee-Ow show, but Eric naturally wanted, like, his bestie with him. So he cast me. This was my audition. I'll make it quick. I had no idea what to do, Eric. I was so afraid of having to perform and make it up. I'd never heard of improv. So I got the Chicago Tribune and I read the comic strip in front of all the auditioners and the producer and Eric. I did it really slow, like straight man style. Does that ring a bell, guys? So he put me in on the basis of that half-ass attempt. So Eric, I'm forever grateful. I love you and the lifetime friends you gave me by making that choice. And forget about what it's done to help actors and how you act later on, and you learn from that. Everybody else spoke to that. Like it's, it's part of the machine. I would like to, however, take a moment to mention the much maligned 1983 Mee-Ow show. I had never seen the Mee-Ow show before.
We only have another hour.
Okay, I'll make it quick again. So I wandered into that one. It was at Annie Mae Swift. Am I correct? Do I remember that? So I remember that whole first act of it. It was amazing. And if anybody else remembers the tune, I've had it as an earworm since before they had the word earworm. Wake up, you tin heads. Wake up, you tin heads, and get back into bed. Get your ass out of bed, see? So anyway, thanks you guys. That inspired me to try to be in Mee-Ow. 83.
Good job,
Let's
83.
give it up for 83.
Woo-hoo.
Dermot took most of my time.
I
No,
do.
it's fine. It's
I
fine.
do.
No, I auditioned my friend Peter Grosz, and thank you. I auditioned my freshman year, which was the fall of '92. I did a couple things the fall of '92. First thing was I found out about improv and Mee-Ow. I'm one of those people that I loved SNL and everything, but I didn't know about Second City and improv. I auditioned for Mee-Ow, and the other thing I did in my first week of life here at Northwestern was I got caught smoking weed right outside Bob McCullough. Day two. So that went really well. And then I got a call back for Mee-Ow, and I had no idea what I was doing. And at the callback, it was really clear that I had no idea what I was doing. And then I spent the next years auditioning. And Jean Villepique and her cohort, Ed and Adrian and Jason Weiner and Dan Weiss and Amanda Weyer and Louise.
I was also in that
and show. You were also in that show. But what I was going to say is that all those people graduated, which left this like giant, it was like the 27 Yankees left, and then I was on like the 28 Yankees. Nobody remembers those guys. Oh, Pee Wee Grosz, yeah, he was okay. So I was able to get cast that year by Jill Alexander. And I was very happy. I don't remember the actual moment of finding out, but it was fun.
Yeah, now I know I should have kidnapped you.
Yes, exactly.
Hi, I'm Anjali Bhimani. Thanks, guys. I have vague memories of actually hearing that I had been cast in the show from a friend. She and I had started this thing like, let's write down how many auditions it takes for us to get a show, and we'll laugh about it. It's going to be 9 million things. And so I, like a good overachieving Asian, was just auditioning for everything. And the third thing I auditioned for, and this was freshman year, was Mee-Ow. And so she came running back to the room, and she was like, you got Mee-Ow. And I asked her, are you sure? Because that seems weird. And then she said, yeah, and you're the only freshman. And my immediate response was, oh no. Oh no, what if I suck? It was terror. It was sheer, unadulterated, they've chosen the wrong person, they made a mistake, which seems to be a running theme because I seem to think that a lot when people cast me. But that is honestly what I remember the most, is just sheer terror at the experience.
Okay, but then it got better. Yeah? Do you have more? Do you want to say more? she's gone into a high range, and only dogs can hear her cry. Are you all right now?
I'm super all right. I'm super excited to be here and see everybody and be able to share all the memories. Not just the amazing ones, but the hard ones, and the hard ones that helped us learn lessons, and celebrate other people who had amazing experiences, even if mine was mixed. And but that's not a bad thing. I'm so thrilled because, look, let's be honest. I was a brown girl in the 90s. I grew up in Orange County, California. My only proof that blonde hair was a recessive gene came when I came to Chicago. So I didn't expect things, or it's in a bottle, but like it was the proof. That was the only, I was like, wow, there are 1.5 billion of us in the world. I didn't know. And so that, the mixed experience was my life experience. So it was hard, but it was fine because I was like, cool. I know how to deal with this, and these super cool, awesome people know how to deal with it in their own ways too. So I'm just gonna look up to them and do my best to keep up with them because they let me play in their game.
Yeah, I mean, I think that that is it's a particular challenge to be cast as a freshman because you don't really know what this behemoth is until you're already like kind of rolling under the wheels of it, so to speak. And Jean, you also had that experience. I did as well. So how was it for you to try to find your way into a group that already had an established reputation?
Well, Lily Francis, who was the director who cast me, also cast Danielle Gaither and Scott Duff. Danielle was the first black woman cast, right? And Scott, I don't know if you were the first. No, you were not the first out gay.
No way.
What?
Would the gay member of the 1974 show please stand up?
But I want to give Lily a lot of credit. I missed there was some truth talk in the last one where I was like trying to put lip liner on in the bathroom in a sad attempt to, but I missed some truth talk in the last panel that Lily had said. But I know you had a hard time, and instead of being discouraged and walking away, you were proactive and cast this wonderful group of people who were delightful, silly, and fun. And I think it was a lot of people's first time being in the show. I can't remember, but so I didn't feel any need to fit in. There definitely was a culture that was built throughout my experience, throughout my 4 years, and I think it was more intimidating for people to come in, unfortunately, after that. But Lily's influence was the spirit of this connective, playful, equal playing field. So
good job, Lily. So in our first panel, we had writers talk about how their experience with improv impacted and getting jobs and then still impacts their work today. So I feel like as actors, you have the improv side, and then you also have the side that does sketch. So curious from all of you, which side do you feel like you tap into more? And can you draw a straight line from your experience in Mee-Ow to a particular job or line on your resume and say, this is where I used my Mee-Ow skills the most? I feel Anna leaning in.
Well, it's not really a skills answer. It's just a direct line to career. Like, it was so direct. I moved to Los Angeles. This guy named Jim Duda, who was a cheerleader, I didn't really know him. Yeah, he was a friend, Duda Day, exactly. And he had seen Mee-Ow and was a fan of Mee-Ow. And his first job out of college at Northwestern was to be a junior agent assistant at ICM voiceover, and he called me up. He was like, "Hey, I saw you in Mee-Ow. You do really funny character voices." I didn't even know about that. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't go to college thinking about people who did radio commercials. You know?
Right.
And I
really want to be a voice artist.
I literally booked a Wiener Schnitzel radio. Thank you. And got into AFTRA, and it was like such a direct path from Mee-Ow. It was like everything. I mean, the Northwestern community in general. Like, I got my day job, I got my apartment, I got all the things. Actually, largely from people I didn't even really weren't necessarily cohorts of mine. But the reputation is accurate in my case of the massive community that takes care of one another from this incredible place. Honestly.
Great. Anyone else have a story of a direct line to work? Josh.
I mean, this is a completely new group of people from the last panel. You guys all left. These are new people. No, but yeah, I mean,
all day it's I think 10,000 people have come and gone.
In and out all day. Because there's no in and outs. Once you leave, you have to buy a new ticket.
Yes.
I mean, Boom Chicago is a direct line for me, and also I just want to say, like, there's so many people here that I know and that I've known for years. Our cast, my junior year, we went to Los Angeles for spring break, and
so many great trips that everybody else took.
Yeah. But there we met.
We raised money for Edinburgh and didn't go anywhere.
Well, next time. But when we went to Los Angeles, like JP and Jason Weiner and Adrian Wenner and Ed Herbstman, like sort of took us around, and we were shepherded around by this generation before us, and it was so nice, and we felt sort of part of this community, and it is an ever-growing community. And I will say, like last night, I talked to so many different pockets of people from before me, from after me, and to be part of this family is really important. And I think as an actor who's sometimes working and sometimes not, the community is the thing that tends to bring you back in, and it's that person that oh yeah, I worked with at Boom Chicago who now wrote a movie and called and is like, hey, do you want to do 2 days on this movie? And to be part of Mee-Ow is to be part of something that is like, you see, and I'm not saying it like because I'm up here, but like I'm in awe of the breadth and the scope of successful Mee-Ow people and interesting Mee-Ow people, and I could talk to any of you at length and just be so happy about it.
Even Eric Gilliland?
Even Eric Gilliland. So I think the direct line is a lot of times it is, it ping pongs around, sure. But it's weaved into the fabric of this family that a lot of work and a lot of jobs you will get are because you were Mee-Ow.
Pete, you're holding mic.
Yeah, I'm holding mic. I was going to say that probably every one of us has been asked to improvise at some point in an audition, and I think we all probably also have training at a theater, whether it's Groundlings. Were you Groundlings, right? Or you were
Groundlings.
Groundlings.
Also, it's not just in an audition. We can't wait to see what you do with this.
Yeah. I mean I was at I.O. and people were at Second City.
My shitty script while I film you.
But just the idea that, like, for me, this was the place that I started improvising was, right here, I guess, Shanley first, but right here, essentially. So anytime I'm asked to audition, I'm an improv Olympic person and a Second City person, but I really took classes and honed myself improv-wise at I.O., but this was my, like, first little baby steps of that. So this is where it comes back to, I think, and then there's also like the fact that improv obviously helps all your acting instincts and being in the moment. But as far as like the skill that it takes, because people who don't have that skill freak out, when they're asked to do it, they just can't do it. And it's not their fault. They just don't have the skill.
Romy.
And they're bad people. Go ahead.
And very boring. Very, very boring.
I mean, since we're kind of the senior citizens up here, for lack of a better word.
Amen, sister.
Right? I know. Eric kind of turned it, right? It became something else in '84 because it was, I saw the '83 one and it was so kind of shocking, and I felt that when Eric cast all of us, it was like this homegrown, these, fresh all-American faces, and we weren't allowed
White
to swear.
faces.
We weren't, I am Italian Jew, so I just don't want to say it.
Close.
So, but as far as tying it all in, I took a very circuitous. I worked at 2 agencies when I graduated, ICM and CAA, because I wasn't secure enough to pursue my acting. I didn't know where I fit in. But what I always took was that Eric Gilliland.
Eric Gilliland show.
Maybe we just refer to him as Eric.
You know what?
Going forward.
We're as tired of saying it as you are of hearing it. So there's that. No, but
yeah, you just had it for today. We've had it for 40 fucking years. It's a lot of Eric Gilliland.
What Dermot said. But you actually use is having the confidence to do it, and then to pivot into 85 to. I'm gonna toot my own horn in that I was the first woman to ever direct it.
Let's hear it for Romy.
And it was, I think, between me and Richard Radutsky, who's absolutely brilliant. So I thank everybody who wanted to pick the woman. But I definitely piggybacked on that person. Whatever, what he did. But I brought improv into every part of my life. So whether I was, a waiter or I worked for an agent. So you can say improv or lying, but it's better to say improv,
Pretensies.
But so I do think that the ability to do that provides a confidence actually in whatever you're doing next, because we're always put into these situations where we don't know what the fuck we're doing. So we, act as if.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what you do in improv.
Love it.
So.
Jess.
I, right out of college, worked at a lit agency as like the front desk bitch, because I didn't.
Was that on your card?
Yeah, it was on my card. Just kidding, they didn't give me a card. And I was taking improv classes at night and getting bagels for the agents in the morning. It was peach gig. And then I was sort of saved because of Mee-Ow. I was taking classes at UCB and Groundlings, and I heard that the Boom Chicago was having auditions. And when I got it, it was like a year and a half after I moved to LA. It was just the most blissfully happy, creative time of my life. And I think, thanks, Pep. You're the best. Where are you, Pep? He left? God damn. Okay. Oh, great. Thanks, Pep. Okay. Pep Rosenfeld, everybody. And then Mee-Ow saved me again, because once I came back, I did a short Second City ship. I think that's dead now. No one does that anymore. Anyways, I lived on a ship for 4 months. And then when I came back, a girl who saw me do Mee-Ow my sophomore year, the Shanley show, she was Lauren Michaels' assistant. And she recommended me to submit a tape for SNL. And at that point, the best woman in the world named Ayala Cohen was casting. And she later, after that year, moved over to ICM to be an agent. And I was her first client. Wow. So it's all because of Mee-Ow. So it was it gave me that confidence in a really tough landscape. Like, Los Angeles is scary. And I just felt like worthwhile because of Mee-Ow.
Awesome. Kristen?
I was gonna skip this question because.
Show him the sweatshirt.
Because I auditioned for Boom Chicago and did not get in.
Ooh.
I know. That's why I wanted to skip this question. I auditioned for Eric's show, Welcome to New York, and did not get the part. After he saw me in Mee-Ow, so it's not gonna get you there. This is not a free ticket.
Not a democracy, guys. It's not a democracy.
Yeah. But I am happy that I think one of the things that Mee-Ow did the most for me, again, is the community. Like, I'm so lucky to have the friends that I do after all these years. And also,
you organized a baby shower for a Mee-Ow alum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That anyone can do that. You wouldn't have to get into Mee-Ow, but I was gonna say one of the best things though is like being on the stage, which, by the way, is so fucked up. Like, is that why they keep asking me for money? Because like, you need a new stage. This is like the same stage, but it's we'll put some tape on it. Anyways, I just wanted to say that being up here, doing the show, and that we all put together was so creative and so lovely, and feeling that the audience loving us, and knowing that we could actually make something that would, get a response like that is such a high. That I've and then it's such a low when you get out of college and you don't have that anymore. But it makes you work harder because you know that it exists. So.
JP?
I say, just direct line from the Mee-Ow experience, doing live comedy on this stage to like guest starring on multi-camera sitcom. There's a skill set here that makes you very comfortable in an environment that Eric referenced earlier. Sorry, I'm referencing Eric. Where the jokes maybe don't work the first time, the writers huddle up and they give you something new, and you're cool with that. I was lucky enough to do an episode of Will and Grace with Glenn Close. Glenn Close is amazing. But when we did the first pass of a scene and they didn't get the laughs exactly where they wanted, they huddled up, they rewrote half the scene, and they're like, okay, here we go. And she went, wait. We're not going to run this once? We're not going to rehearse it? There's 300 people right here, and we're just going to do it? And it was like, yeah. And it was strange
Writers.
to in that...
What do they expect?
Glenn Close.
I know.
Clearly not a Mee-Ower.
But it was very strange to, in that moment, be the more confident and, in a way, experienced performer. I mean, she's done Broadway, all this stuff, but I was like, yeah, give me the new line, give me the new endowment, the new whatever. Oh, she's going to toss the camera and I'm going to catch it? Okay. And that totally came from here because I hadn't had experience doing a lot of other, I wasn't a stand-up who had to deal with a heckling audience or anything like that. But the improv experience and accepting an endowment, I found writers very much appreciated. And it would also take a character that could maybe be a one-off and turn it into a recurring character because not only did you just execute the lines in the scene, but you created enough of a character from whatever they had provided you that they saw the potential for more in the future. That's been a direct line from this show to what I was lucky enough to do in the early 90s.
Awesome. How about you, Dermot?
Oh, I can. Thank you. I remember everything, so I can tell you that it happened here on the last night in '85. I'll try to tell you. Well, first of all, improv has been a gift to me because it really gave my manic personality a home, which I'm being my authentic self today, which somebody recommended. Was it you? No. So I'm going to forge ahead and try and describe this sketch.
Oh my God.
A legal arbitration had come to, the word was loggerheads, said so skillfully by Rich Kaplan. He was the judge, and Richard Radutsky, are we getting tired of his name? Yes. And I couldn't sort out the legal issue, so we had to resort to, pause, professional wrestling. We rip off our suits that are Velcroed on, and right here on this stage, we put on a massive stage stunt fight. We were clad in high school wrestling singlets. Can you picture what I mean in '85? Well, it goes down to here, but it's just shorts with overall straps, but you get to see a lot of the goods. Romy was directing, and she's like she said, a red-blooded American woman at the time, student age, whatever. Well, you were about to be a woman. You were a kid. Anyhow, Peggy Walters, do I have the name right? A recent grad from Northwestern, was a baby age, and she was sitting right there about ball height. That's when it happened, Jill.
Thank you. Thank you.
She told the bigger agent who told Jane Alderman, so when William Morris came calling at the end, they already knew about me downtown. And that lady
We've
signed
seen your
me
balls,
up.
Dermot. We like the look of...
Thank you. That was the punchline. I didn't think I had to say it.
Anjali, what about you?
I might need a minute to recover from that mental image because I can't unsee it. Okay, so I've said this to Joe, so you know this. I feel like the whole year with Mee-Ow for me was a year of feeling wildly uncomfortable all the time, and with a slight undercurrent of terror. No matter how much the people around me were reassuring me or whatever, there was just always this sense of fear. But I didn't die, and sometimes people laughed, And what I realized was that was the beginning of me just getting super comfortable with being really uncomfortable, and super comfortable with just, and trust me, like again, I'm Asian. We are not comfortable with not knowing the answer. And starting to be comfortable with being like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but I'm gonna do it anyway, let's go. That became my whole career. So I've gotten to do things in all different media because I just said yes, whether or not I thought I could do it, because I didn't want to be the first person to discount me. I'd let someone else say no.
Yeah.
If someone else wants to tell me, that's a different story. So, and I finally now in my life, in my career, get to let my full like nerd freak show fly, because a lot of my career is in gaming. In addition to the TV stuff, it's in gaming and it's in tabletop gaming, which is all long form improv. And all you care about is the story and supporting the other people who are telling the story. So it is so not about you. And so I didn't know that was the lesson I was learning back then, that it's just not about you, no matter what, for good or in any way.
It's about the bigger
It's about
idea.
the bigger picture. It's about the story. So that definitely has translated through the whole journey.
I love it. What about you, Jean?
I remember some things. A direct line to work?
A direct line to work. Do you tap into improv skills and or sketch skills in order to make that work?
Not sketch so much. I don't know. For me, definitely the improv skills. I think improv makes us great listeners. Hopefully, and practicing being comfortable, being uncomfortable is such a big one. You hopefully lose some of that shame by just looking foolish over and over again, or trying and trying. But I think hopefully listening as an actor, I think that is the strongest skill, and it's the most overlooked. Or I don't know if it's the most, whatever. To me, it's the thing I value the most. I'm not going to talk anymore about it. Listening.
Are you going to use your listening skills now? Yeah. Romy, I feel like you want to tell us a story. Oh, no. Okay, and how about you, Pete?
I mean, they're going on inside. But
So we've also touched over the course of these 6 hours, not only on Dermot's balls, but on the fact that sometimes there wasn't all light and rainbows. But what Joe said so eloquently to wrap up his presentation this morning was that when he was interviewing Mee-Ow alums for the book, that he tried to remind them, us, me, that you're 18 and 19 when you're doing this thing that's bigger than you are. So you have to treat yourself with some warmth and some grace. And off of that, I am curious what you would say now as a successful actor, adult. What would you say now to your Mee-Ow self?
Stop trying to be right. Stop trying to look cool. Nothing good in your life will ever come from you trying to look cool. But everything that goes well in your life will come because you try to be you. Don't even try, you just are. And everything that makes you weird is precisely what makes you unique, which is precisely the thing that is going to make you cool without trying to be cool. So just stop trying to be cool.
I'd like to wait until other people say things. Because I don't feel like I'm a good person to go second here.
I'll say take more risks. Take more risks. I'll probably keep thinking that back. I wish I had taken more risks. That's all, yeah.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I would say too you know what, Kristen, that sketch about the cake, that was a good sketch. And you should have. Cake! And you should have written more. And I also, just because I don't know how much time we have, but I just want to selfishly.
We have all the time. I'm the producer.
Oh. Well, I just wanted to thank everyone, and thank you to Joe and everyone for this moment. Like, I think that we're all here together and listening to the panels. I was so touched over and over again. You guys are so lucky to get to hear us. and I just think it's really special, and I just wanted to thank you guys for doing this reunion. That's all.
Thanks.
Well, I'm going to sound like I'm repeating your joke, but I really have to say I was right. Like, what is sort of, again, it was late 80s, and women's voices were not celebrated. Women were not expected to be successful as comedians. We were just not. It was like, we kind of stumbled into it, and we were good at it. And my still best friend, Jill Cargerman, who was cast both years with me, who I literally am on a show on Paramount with right now, and who I'm developing another show with right now. We went into rehearsal, and there was no material, and no disrespect, back row. None of the boys wanted to write. None of the boys wanted to write. They were like, the girls will do it. It's fine. And we were outraged. We were like, our executive functioning was just higher because we were girls.
Women.
And we were like, you guys, we need material. And we went home and we stayed up all night long and we wrote 7 sketches, which, by the way, terrible. You should not write a sketch. 1 a night. That's good. Maybe refine it. But anyway, we came in, and it was this instinct of like, well, I guess I'm just going to have to figure out my own advocacy here, and I'm going to have to create systems that support what I want to do. And of course, we cast everybody, and we included everybody, and the dominant voice was still sort of like, white cis straight boy awesomeness. I mean, it was great. There was no problem. I'm married a straight man and like him very much.
They're fine.
It's fine. And I have, but my point just being that it's interesting, and with the panels is like finding, it is a tribe of weirdos, and sort of owning early on that that's okay. Like that you're gonna find your own freak flag, and you're gonna like refine. And I think the more you do that moving forward, what I'm struck by so much this whole day is how positive the energy of people who are good at this is. Like, it's just it's a bunch of people who look, a lot of people would quit after a Wiener Schnitzel commercial, is what I'm trying to say. And I was like, oh my God, I got a Wiener Schnitzel commercial. I'm gonna make it. Like there's this energetic shift to what we all do, and a lot of that is yes-anding one another and eye contacting and agreeing with, and all of the sort of foundational aspects of improv and sketch writing. It's just the basis for it is forward moving. And so I think I didn't spend a lot of time really thinking about it. I just used those skills over and over and over again. And I still write for myself, I had to. So
yeah, awesome.
I just want to, I want to follow.
Sorry, straight boys, I love you guys. I really do.
What
younger.
Anna's referring to is the 1989 Mee-Ow show, Salvador's Deli, and what you just said reminded me of the fact that like every one of these shows is kind of inherited, by the next director, the next aesthetic for what the show should be, and that's terrific. There are definitely windows of years that everyone was in suits and doing more like Nichols and May type style stuff. Our year we're wearing brightly colored T-shirts and stuff. It's like up with people, but one I do vividly remember when Anna and Jill came to that rehearsal with 7 sketches. They'd stayed up all night writing, and it was a wonderful it was a counterbalance that we needed, because our director at the time, Tim Araneta, who's not with us, not dead, just not with us.
He's a storyteller, professional.
Yeah. He was very much focused on the improvisation, and it's okay if we don't have this many sketches or it's not that well written, as long as we're all going to create it all together. A lot of focus on improv, but we had already discovered that the balance between improv and sketch and rock and roll that was working really well. We were 2 weeks out from the show, and we really needed sketches, and it was amazing to watch Anna and Jill shift into that gear, because that's what our ensemble needed. We all benefited from it, and thank you, Anna.
Awesome. Wow.
Thank you for remembering the title of the show.
Pete, are you ready to share yet? Or you need Josh?
No, I'll just say briefly, I would say, it's basically what would I say to myself that I wasn't realizing at the time?
Or you can just be like, you fucking rule.
I would not say that to myself at that time. I feel like, look at yourself in the mirror, you idiot. When I was that age, every 2 years, I would get a giant cyst on my nose right here. And someone in high school told me that if you put toothpaste on it.
This is true.
Josh will remember
this. This is true. Pete was always walking around with toothpaste on his nose.
So I'd probably say to myself, wipe the toothpaste off your nose, you idiot.
Thank you so much.
Schmuck. Your nose is already big enough. You don't have to like put a fucking toothpaste on it to be like, that's big. What is on there? Also, no, I think I would say sort of a version of what Anna's experience was, which is like, don't get so hung up on like that one sketch that you have that you love and you think it's so great. Like there's always like another time at bat or another swing. I don't remember. This is going to sound so stupid, but trust me, it's fucking profound. There's like a chip commercial that was like, crunch all you want, we'll make more. Do people remember that? You have to be my age or older. It was like Lay's or whatever. It was dumb. It was like, crunch all you want, we'll make more. It's so stupid. It's like, keep eating chips, which is a dumb thing to tell people to do. But
unless you're
the guy
selling
who
chips.
sold, yeah, exactly. I mean, if you sell like fast food for 18 years, big loser. But no, I think what I have taken that thing, which is so trite, to be kind of serious. Like, not the crunch all you want part, but the make more part. Like, life will always just be like, no to that, and you should just keep regenerating. So Anna's idea about like constantly moving forward, I would just tell myself like, don't get upset if like your director doesn't like something that you did, or or your castmates don't like something that you did. Just do the next idea, next man up. That's it.
I feel like as an 18-year-old dude, I was not great at regulated emotions all the time, and I felt like there were times I'd get so angry if things weren't going well, and I might get mad at my cast members. And I was talking to Gene about this on the ride in, that I almost like want to offer an apology to my cast for if I was ever like a bully and a dick, but like. When I was at Boom Chicago, I left the stage one time and I put my foot through a wall. And when I left, they cut that piece of the drywall out and framed it for me. And it hangs in my house. And it is a great reminder to just like fucking settle down, man. Like it's not that important. And I hope I can just like say it's because I was young or whatever. And I am not that person, but I cared so much, and I think I cared too much. I think sometimes to the detriment of my cast, and I think there was a way to be sort of nicer and more constructive, and the rising tide lifts all ships or something like that. But I think I was just like, I think there were definitely times I was an asshole, and I am sorry for those times. I got it off my chest.
Wow.
Some ninth step
Yes.
shit, man.
That inspired me. I've been thinking about what is so great about this thing that we all share, and it is the playfulness, the element of we can make a game out of almost anything, especially the Boom folks. You practice being playful more than any other improvisers I know, and have this spirit of like, we're camping, it's raining, okay, how will this be fun? Or what in real life even. I lost my train of thought. Oh, what we do when we start doing this is we want to find people who are safe. We're like, just do it with our friends. Or like, these people in our cast are funny, and these people aren't. And all that insecurity comes up. And I guess I'm mostly saying this to the people who are still beginning their journey on this. So you practice that a lot, and then you start to feel safe with anyone, and you don't worry about whether or not you're so safe, like looking foolish or being playful. If somebody says no, it's okay. So I think the spirit of yes, but also the playfulness of it, which makes it fun, like Eric's dad was saying.
Ralph.
Oh yeah.
Also, you become the person that someone else is like, ooh, I'm safe with them.
Yeah.
Like I think I actually consciously do that. Like I just shot this independent movie this week that was just like some friends of mine wrote, and it's fun. And like I didn't know anybody going into it other than them. But I think like in the back of my mind, I'm like, I'm going to be the person on the set who makes it, like try to make it okay. And I think that's something that we can all do a little bit. And not that like I have the superpower, but I think the people who do this have the power to be like, make a little joke to this person. We're cool, good. I'm gonna go check in with this person, make a little joke to them, and we're just checking it off.
Creating community
Yeah.
through your superpower.
Especially when you're around actors, because actors are not improvisers. Actors, similar to stand-ups, are like, have my thing, and I'm nervous, and I'm scared. And if you just like poke a hole in everybody's fear without knowing it, like afterwards they'll be like, wow, that's true. Like that person did make me feel comfortable.
I feel like Dermot brought that mic near his face.
Yeah. What I would say to my 19-year-old self, I think I'm going to go with what Jill suggested, which is you rock, dude. Can I just go with that? Because I was awesome. I was awesome then.
I'm not sure you ever had a problem.
Unlike this young man there, I was nice to everyone. I was never a dick. I was never sloppy drunk to the point of blacking out. What was the question?
Romy.
Dermot, I think we were supposed to be our authentic self. Oh. No, but you
Water up Pete's nose.
The seams are showing.
I know, right? Yeah, exactly. No, I think everybody up here is great.
She meant me.
No, you I like. Well,
Romy, what would you say to your younger Mee-Ow self?
oh, I don't know.
Okay.
No, but the one thing that the guy in the white shirt that moderated the first thing about having fun is that there is a lot of situations in the entertainment business, but also in the fucking world. Every job interview, everything, someone's going to throw something at you, and you're like, shit, I didn't know that ball was coming, and you've got to be able to pivot or improvise. Do you know what I mean? It's like how you look at it. I thought I was only going to do comedy, and then all of a sudden they realized I could cry on cue, so I became the mother who just lost a child constantly, like weekly. You know, it was like the single mom that she had to go to a... And, but what I learned from improvising is I always fucking put a tag on the scene, even if I was weeping.
Everything needs a button.
Yep, everything needs a button. And you do, and even if you're doing the worst dialogue in the world, it's really hard not to comment on it. So
when you're smarter than the writers sometimes.
But except for
That happens a lot.
Except for Liz Kruger and everybody who was on that first panel. But yeah, it's like, wait, I've got to figure this fucking thing out. You realize it's grammatically incorrect. I went to Northwestern.
All right. Hi there. I'm the famed aforementioned Shy. My question, Kristen, what was the sketch?
Do it. Just do it.
Cake sketch.
No, it was funnier if you could imagine it. Liz, do you want to tell it? Or was it Hattie? I don't remember which year. Basically, it was about a housewife who was had to get a birthday party together for her kid, and she had all the pressure that like a 50s housewife has on her, and the cake wasn't going right. But what happens is that when everyone would enter the scene and they would just do a dialogue, and they'd be like, "Hey, Nancy, do you know when the cake is gonna be ready?" It didn't make it. But it did now, so thank you for your question.
This is more of a comment than a question. I've spoken with most of you, and I just want to thank you for helping my brilliant wife understand why she heard me laughing maniacally when I was having conversations with you. Because you guys are absolutely fantastic, and I just wanted to say thank you.
Hello. Yes. So just so there's some takeaway from all of this, because so it won't really matter. Peter, With the no cyst thing, what brand of toothpaste do you recommend?
Really any of them, but the minty ones I find, like an Aim. I wouldn't go with like Crest. Anything that comes out white, I think, is not your best friend.
Hi, for Kristen, I really like Gravity Falls, and I was just thinking, like, voice acting. I was curious. I feel like a lot of, like, I've only seen a little improv, but a lot of it is body language, and you can't really directly control that for voice acting. So I was curious how that kind of changes, like, comedy stuff.
And I would love to also hear Anjali respond to that, and Jess, since you also do a ton of voice work. Should I just? No.
She didn't say I would rather hear. Also.
Thank you for your question. What was the question? I got so nervous. What is your... without your body. Yeah. No, I know. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do this. Well, because we were watching the Fantastic Mr. Fox, and my husband was like, isn't that amazing that George Clooney was on the motorcycle recording it? And I was like, no, it is not amazing. At all. Sorry. You really, really have to pretend. Just in a tiny booth, standing up with nothing around you. Jess also has done Bob's Burgers too, and she's incredible. And it's you just have to see it all, and you have to just immerse yourself in being there. And then you also do lots of shaking of your body without a motorcycle. It's like yeah, and it's a lot of fun. And I usually walk out of the booth feeling like really high. So I don't do pot.
I think the first Bob's I did, like almost everyone was in the booth, which is super rare.
Yeah.
That's how Bob's record.
That makes a huge difference, and it like makes it feel freer and more creative. And I mean, Lauren is the creator, loves improv, and he will keep stuff in that you improvise, which is incredible. But like, I had to be a little girl in a bounce house, and so I was just, which looked psychotic in person. But then, yeah, you kind of have to put yourself in that mode and in that environment to make it sound realistic. You don't need a freaking motorcycle Clooney.
I don't want to shade Clooney, but if we're taking Glenn Close to town, then.
Time's up, more famous people. Yeah.
I would just second everything that you guys said, and especially in video games where there is so much more, like there's battle chatter and there's, okay, so now you've fallen off a cliff and you're being frozen on the way down, but then you're gonna hit a rock as you go and go.
Anjali, what is battle chatter?
Battle chatter in a game. In a game, it's like when you are actually fighting in the game and you're yelling like, grenade, man down, that kind of shit. So like, and it's like, and you're yelling for 4 hours. So one of the things that really, really helped me here was voice training. Like just basic voice training to not lose your voice. Because if you can do 8 shows a week of theater, you can do voiceover if you know how to take care of your voice. I think a lot of film actors, when they go into voiceover, don't necessarily realize that they might hurt themselves. And so making sure that they've also had a chance to learn to take care of themselves that way. But yeah, it is pure imagination and delight. Like just taking delight in the ridiculousness of what you're trying to do and just funnel everything that your body would do in through your voice.
Thank you so much. Okay, here we go. Here's your next question.
Hi, this is for anyone who would like to answer. I'm kind of curious how you see the landscape of entertainment changing over the next couple of years. And like, yeah, sorry. And
Where's Jen?
We were really trying to keep it up.
Well, may I answer to it?
Yes,
because
please.
I've heard it discussed all day, and I can tell you what's happening. It happened in 85 and 87, 88, 89. There's a great you thing going down in Hollywood right now. The guys that all came in when I did are all 60 years old, like me. And they've been in charge since the 80s. and they're done. And we're done with them, of course, because of all that, we took out the really bad guys, but the mentality is still there, and it's done. So it's time. Everybody said you can put out your own thing, you can make your own thing, but I really wanted to say it's discernible in Hollywood. Right, it is right now time to take advantage of this void and to add on new blood, new voices, etc. So go do it. Yeah. It's right now.
I also feel that one of the things about the landscape, and I don't know, is that a lot of the people who hire you or the powers that be, they're working on fear. They're trying to. It's panic, and it's never going to happen. And that there's however many pilots being done. That's their thing to keep you small. Don't listen to a fucking word of it. If you want to do it, do it. So that the landscape of it, where you would kind of think like the 80s or whatever was like the land of opportunity. There were so many opportunities. And it's like, oh, now there's not as many opportunities. As we've said here, is like you create your own. But the other people, the writers who are out there now, they're going to also create. They're tired of being frightened. They're going to actually come out. And so I think it is a cyclical, and through the strikes and the pandemic and so on and so forth, I think we are pivoting, and then I think that the creative voice is going to happen, is because the business aspect of it, the Wall Street aspect of it, we all know that, but the audiences, they still connect to character. Right. They want characters. They want people that they can relate to. So that's, I believe it'll come right around.
We have a question from a small unknown gentleman.
This is actually, it just addresses a little bit of that, but to you guys down there in the jury box. If you don't think the world can change, it can, and what I'm going to say now is, in my eyes, how it's changed. Second City used to only have had 4 or 5 guys in the company and only had 2 women in the company. When I first kept seeing Mee-Ow, maybe 2 women, and 1 was good. Now, hold on, wait. Now, the women outnumber the men on stage. And that's quite a thing to say. I mean, how many, isn't it equal in the company, pretty much? I mean, in years ago, improv was much louder, and men are louder. Today, yeah, I believe it is I believe it's equal. They just didn't exist back then. The funny women were kept under the thumb of men, and the world has changed. And I think that's fantastic.
And also, it's a great point. Richard Kind, everybody. Richard Kind.
Yes, Richard Kind, everybody. Oh.
I don't say this as somebody who had to fight for my space, but it's something I've observed, and it goes back to everything that everyone said, is that those spots were taken. They were not given. So if you feel like you're not represented, or if you feel like you're not, like being seen, like go take it, because no one's going to give it to you. There's a reason why you don't have it. It's because somebody doesn't want you to have it. So if you want it, go take it, steal it.
Is that now what you're going to tell your 18-year-old self?
No, I was a white straight dude. It was being handed to me. That's advice for other folks. Although Jewish, very, very, very tough in the entertainment industry to be Jewish. Still, guys, very hard. Yeah.
We have a question from another famous Mee-Ow brother pair who's missing his pair. Luke, would you like to answer your question?
We can't see from
who
here,
is it?
Dory.
Kristen.
Okay.
Kristen, I want to officially apologize for my lack of vision in cutting the cake sketch.
Apology accepted.
I think it was really funny just now on the microphone, and we didn't have the microphones back then, and I couldn't hear it, So anyway, my question is I think that one of the wonderful things about improv is this constant. I was always terrified to do improv, even though I did it for 3 years. And is there something, if anyone can answer, of course, is there something that you still aspire to do that terrifies you, but that you still want to do in your highly successful lives and careers?
I mean, this doesn't terrify me, but maybe I should be terrified. I want to be a fucking action hero at my age. And And the only reason I say at my age is because other people think that, but I'm like, I can do it, so let's do it. And also, again, for my demographic, and I'm sorry to bring that up, but only recently we just had Monkey Man open this weekend, right? And if you've seen it, you understand how badass that is, and that is not an image that's been put out there a lot. So as to Dermot's point, like, it's not even go out there and take it. It's like, oh, cool, I can make this for you because nobody's done it before, and I can invite you into this reality, and I can invite audiences into this reality they haven't seen before.
Well, when you do, can I be the evil white guy?
Fuck yeah!
Yeah.
Okay, so our next question is from Tempe Thomas, class of 03.
I want to know what day job side gig gave you the most material.
Oh, I can talk to this.
Go.
I had a lot of them. So started out, I was an agent's assistant at ICM and CAA, which is two of the biggest ones. So the people who would come through and the lies that I would say. Then Ed DeBevics. I went from working at CAA to opening the Ed DeBevics in Los Angeles. So everything went away. So there was a lot of characters there. And then I became a personal assistant to multiple very successful actors. Wow. No. I mean, I can give passwords.
Harlan, Tina Davis.
But so there was a ton of characters through what I had to do, and I've definitely brought those people to life.
JP.
100%.
I used to dress up like a bag of dry cereal and go to Venice Beach in scalding heat.
No, she's talking about jobs you've had. Just like things you would do for money. Yeah.
And that prepared you to be dressed up like
Fingos
grapes?
cereal. Fingos, the cereal you eat with your fingers, which General Mills put out for a hot minute and tried to sell it in like the potato chip aisle, but people were like, it's cereal, and I'd be on the beach handing out, I've dressed as a bag of cereal, handing out free samples, trying to be like, very cheerful, like, wouldn't you like a free sample? They'd
It's
keep
the
being like,
dirtiest name to pitch to people.
Fingos.
Would you like a
Cereal you eat with your
Fingo?
fingers.
They're like,
Pick me up a bag of Fingos. Fingo and go.
For the win, thank you.
But only a few short years later, I ended up playing the Green Grapes for Fruit of the Loom for 7 years. So
Straight line.
that experience definitely informed and gave me material that I used in the improv auditions, and it turned into a whole underpants career.
You could probably get one more question. This question is for the audience. The bidding will start soon. We're wondering how high the auction will go to see Dermot and I do the wrestling gig in the original outfit.
It's for the kids, guys. The money's for the kids.
Hi, I'm Brendan, current cast member.
Hi, Brendan.
Yeah, so my question is, we've talked a lot today about how stressful and intense the industry can be. Like, what is your best advice to just take care of yourself, take care of your body, take care of your mind?
Oh, yay! Great question. This is a big one. One thing to remember, and it's so hard to keep this in perspective at your age, is that this business is a long game. Most of the people up here did not get out of school and get that job right away. Like, it wasn't. And I would say, and when you're looking at him, I think it's a good thing, because you're gonna get a lot of life experiences, like the day jobs, that are gonna help grow what you want to create in the world. You're going to be creating your own things, and I think it's important to keep going to take improv outside of Northwestern and find a team there and always keep a project of your own going, because you can control that. You can control your improv troupe. You can control the
You can
the
control
sketch
your
show you're
improv
gonna
troupe.
put on. You can't. Well, but you can control what nights they go up if they're not getting too drunk in Edinburgh or whatever. Or stand up. Like I went into stand up because I knew I could find a stage no matter what. And I made sure I was in charge of something creative, because otherwise you are kind of thrown to the wolves and you have to have them find you. And just know that being an artist is, the definition of being an artist is making art. I had to tell myself that because I didn't want to make anything because I didn't think it would be good. And I was like, well, even if it's bad, if you make it, then you can still be the thing that you love about yourself. So just keep making stuff.
Thank you!